Coming up, we have an update regarding the child abuse death of a 6-year-old Flagstaff boy. Plus, the latest information about the potential impact of coronavirus here in northern Arizona. The news starts now.
You're watching NAZ Today, Northern Arizona's local news.
Good evening and welcome to NAZ Today. I'm Cristiana Ramos.
And I'm Joy Johnson. Thanks for tuning in.
Flagstaff police are still unraveling the details of a horrific child abuse case that left a 6-year-old boy dead. The boy was found in a closet along with his malnourished 7-year-old brother.
This is Deshaun Jaden, a 6-year-old little boy who was abused by his own parents and grandmother, unfed, unloved, and left to die.
He did not look like a typical healthy 6-year-old. He had minimal weight on a body mass on his person, and it was just a troubling scene all around for the first responders as well as the investigators assigned to the case.
It was a Monday afternoon when police received a chilling phone call.
Monday around 12:30 p.m. we received a call for service, referenced the unresponsive child at the residence, and it sounded like it was a female. We didn't identify the name. It would be appropriate to assume it was one of the individuals we contacted and arrested.
Anthony Jose Archipek, Elizabeth Martinez, and Anne-Marie Martinez were all arrested and put into Coconino County Jail. They were all charged with first-degree felony homicide and 2 counts of child abuse. Neighbors say the scene was unbelievable.
I seen when they were arresting them because I was standing over there, working. Then each one they talked to grandmother first. No expression on her face. It was unreal.
Sotelo says the grandmother's name was the only name on the lease, and he, along with other neighbors, didn't know the parents had other children.
A 6-year-old child, shouldn't be. I mean, he died a horrible death. They starved him. And they weren't even supposed to be living here. Nobody knew. The grandmother, I guess, just let them go in, but nobody knew there was 4. I only seen one child with them walking, all the time. Just one little girl. And I didn't know they had 4.
During their interview with the investigators, Hernandez says the parents admitted to neglecting Deshaun and his 7-year-old brother.
They kept the 6-year-old child who was deceased and then the 7-year-old male child in the home in a closet and deprived them of food. And the indications we received during that interview suggest that this behavior was over a course of a month at least. And then interviewing the grandmother, she also substantiated that the children were punished when they were trying to steal food from within the home.
The 3 suspects in this case, the mother, father, and grandmother of the victim, appeared in court and are each being held on $3 million bond, and public defenders have been appointed to represent them. The cause of death is still unknown. The 7-year-old brother was admitted into the hospital for extensive care, and the younger children, ages 2 and 4, are in the custody of the Arizona Department of Child Safety. As the investigation continues, we will keep you updated.
NAU President Rita Chang says the university is gearing up for the impact of the coronavirus.
Flanked by local health experts, Chang used her spring forum Tuesday to outline NAU's plans. NAZ Today, Emmanuel Molina has more.
Dr. Chang says there is little doubt the coronavirus is coming to Flagstaff, and she spoke to the importance of preparations as the virus, also known as COVID-19, gets closer to the Northland.
Our primary objective is to have the relationships, the protocols, the plans, and resources in place to help you minimize your chances for exposure.
Dr. Chang was joined on stage by NAU's Vice President of International Education. He says NAU is the first university in the state to require faculty and staff in China to come home.
As of February 4th, all 8 NAU students have departed China. The students that were in China are all in good health and were given options to enroll in online courses and or relocate to other parts of the world to continue their program of study.
In response to Italy's rising death toll of more than 100, NAU has decided to pull students from there as well. The head of NAU Campus Health says the focus here in Flagstaff should be on prevention. Things like getting the flu shot.
Wash hands frequently. Avoid touching eyes, nose, or mouth. Avoid contact with people who are sick. Cover your mouth with your upper sleeve or a tissue when you're coughing or sneezing. Stay home when you are sick, and encourage others to stay home when they are sick.
Infectious disease specialist Joel Toriquez also spoke at the forum. He says seniors are most at risk.
We know that 14.8% of the older patients are associated with higher mortality rate, and from the ages of 70 to 79, 8% mortality rate. We know that the transmission seems to be higher with coronavirus. One individual infected with coronavirus will potentially infect another 2 or 3 individuals, so the transmission rate is quite high.
Dr. Toriquez says the coronavirus is not as easily spread as some may believe. To become infected, you basically have to be exposed to droplets from someone's cough or sneeze. Congress appears to be close to an agreement on an $8.3 billion aid package to help fight the coronavirus. Manuel Molina, NAZ Today.
The U.S. Supreme Court appears to be divided after hearing oral arguments today on a key abortion rights issue. The case is a challenge to a Louisiana state law requiring abortion providers to admit patients to nearby hospitals. This legal battle has been going on since the law was enacted in June 2014. The Supreme Court is expected to decide the case by late June.
The Arizona House has passed a Republican-backed bill that would ban transgender females from competing in grade school and collegiate athletics. The partisan vote came after hours of debate. Conservative supporters claim that transgender females may have an unfair advantage. One Democrat called the bill, quote, completely wrong, inhumane, unkind, inappropriate, and just mean-spirited.
A changing of the guards at one of the major groups helping the homeless in Flagstaff, the Sunshine Rescue Mission. NAZ Today's Claire Sage brings us more.
Rescue, restore and re-engage. Those are the 3 core goals of the Sunshine Rescue Mission, and they are the 3 goals they strive to keep achieving under new management as Stephanie Boardman retires. She'll be replaced by the board chair.
They're really big shoes to fill. I'm not even going to be able to fill those shoes. I'm just going to do my best to carry on the legacy.
Boardman says it's been a great experience, but after 25 years, it's time to move on.
How I knew it was time for me to retire is I was watching, as I was walking alongside of Kathy, her having the vision for the next. And after being here almost 25 years, I'm like, oh, I don't want to run with that baton. I knew she was the woman that God had raised up during this season to enter our ministry into the next.
Since 2009, the Sunshine Mission has seen a 100% increase in the number of meals and bed nights provided. Knapp says she's seen some amazing transformations.
So housing doesn't solve homelessness, community does. And what we've seen over the years is people coming back to our shelters even after they've had an apartment. And because they have relationships, they, can be involved in whether they're cooking or whether they're going to the thrift store, whatever they're doing, running the truck run here at the mission.
Since 2009, the Sunshine Mission Incorporated has seen a 100% increase in the number of meals and bed nights provided. Knapp says she's seen some amazing transformations.
Just mind-blowing to see people walk in here and see the state of their life and their situation, and then to see them again in a number, even just weeks. It's sometimes even hard to recognize that they're the same person.
Knapp says the hard work and dedication of Stephanie Boardman will not be forgotten, but will be an example for many years to come.
I believe her greatest accomplishment will just be the way she has loved on people coming out of homelessness.
Claire Sage, NAZ Today.
Coming up, we'll introduce you to this week's Athlete of the Week, a senior softball star at Flagstaff High. Stay with us.
Well, the numbers are in for February. Here's our climate summary. Now, if you look at Winslow, you'll see a slightly below average temperature than usual and a lot more precipitation, but I want to pay attention here in Flagstaff. Here in the Highland, we saw slightly warmer temperatures than usual, almost 2 degrees more than usual, but I want to look at our precipitation, 34% of our average. That's right, we saw a lot drier conditions across northern Arizona. I'll tell you what that means heading into spring coming up. Stay with us.
The 2020 Chevrolet Trax at Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac is the small SUV built to help you get into and out of tight parking spots while taking you and 4 friends for a day or night on the town. With its available safety features and surprising cargo flexibility, Trax is ready to take on the demand of your life starting at $19,399.
Hi, Mark Harris here. No pressure, no hype, just real hometown value. Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac at terrymarkson.com. Chevrolet, find new roads.
Is my 2020 census data safe? After sending your census response, your personal information is kept safe. By law, it can't be shared with any other government agency, law enforcement, or landlord. No one. So take your 2020 census with peace of mind. Shape your future. Start here. Visit 2020census.gov.
Hi, Meals on Wheels. I'm Marco. I'm a college student and I volunteer as a driver for Meals on Wheels. I think it's awesome meeting these people. I mean, they're so interesting. They've had so many wonderful experiences in life. Your community helps to raise you up into the person that you become. Meals on Wheels is a great way to give back to that community.
Welcome back. Every Wednesday, NAZ Today highlights a high school athlete who shows excellence on and off the field.
This week, we head to Flagstaff High School. We meet a girls softball star. NAZ Today's Mitchell McKenzie is in the studio to tell us more.
That's right, guys. Rebecca Encinas is an all-around athlete. Just this past week, she finished basketball as the Flagstaff girls team made to the semifinals in the 4A conference. But Encinas doesn't have time for rest because she's made a quick turnaround to the softball field.
Her personality is great. I mean, she brings up the girls. She has a lot to say to make the girls confidence in themselves and believe in themselves.
Rebecca Encinas is a senior for the Flagstaff Eagles girls softball team. She is known for her charisma, but make no mistake, teammate Shay Wilson says she can be tough on and off the field.
She's super aggressive on the field and she's hilarious. She makes everyone laugh all the time. And she's just really good to have around because she's a really good leader and she leads by example and she's good at what she does and she proves it on the field.
Encinas is enthusiastic about every sport she plays. She says her philosophy is simple. When you make mistakes, try harder next time.
To do what I need to do and everyone else is going to do what they need to do and help each other out wherever needed. But also if you make a mistake, just to get over it and try to make up for it as much as you can.
Encinas plays every position in the outfield. And Coach Raymond Hernandez says she's a super strong hitter and always delivers.
Awesome kid, really nice personality, outgoing. I mean, she's there to help you in any way. She's also there to help you. I've had her talk to some of the students last year to help them out with their classes. So I got big hopes for this girl.
And that's right, Rebecca Encinas is this week's Prep Athlete of the Week. I want to thank Coach Hernandez and Shay and, of course, Rebecca Encinas for speaking with me. And do you know an athlete we should salute? You can tweet at me, at Mitch, NAZ Today on Twitter. Mitchell McKenzie, NAZ Today.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
Tonight's NAZ Today weather is brought to you in part by Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac in Flagstaff.
Good evening, student forecaster Aaron Vidito here. When we last left you, we took a look at this graphic. Take a gander at this. If you look at our precipitation, and that is what I mostly want to look at, we have seen 34% of our regular precipitation. That puts us at the 20th driest year in recent history. Does that mean we're in a drought? Not entirely. Taking a look at this map, if you remember last season in fall, we were in a severe drought for most of it, but now we're actually out of that orange, which is the severe drought. We're in the yellow, which means we are only abnormally dry. Most of the state, especially in the south, we saw about average and a lot of places above average precipitation. However, here we saw not as much as we would like. Taking a look at our daily almanac, since January 1st, rather, we've only seen 1.28 inches. That is a lot below our average of almost 4.5 inches of precipitation, and that is a trend that doesn't seem to end anytime soon, although we do have some precipitation in the forecast, so hold out for that. However, today we are seeing a continuation of our dry and mild temperatures at 58 degrees. Our temperatures are just going to kind of keep increasing as that was our high for today, and it is cooling off currently. Looking at Flagstaff right now, 54 degrees, clear skies. It's actually pretty nice outside. I poked my head out just a few seconds ago and it is nice. It's slightly breezy, just where we want it, just where I want it at least. 50s, 60s, that's perfect. Looking across the state, though, we are seeing that is kind of a trend all around. 69 in Sedona, 72 in Phoenix, 64 Page, basically just warming up all across the state, and that was what we're going to see continuing in the next few days going into the weekend. So pretty beautiful weekend. Tonight, even, it's going to be 25 degrees, so not in the teens. That's an improvement. And sunset is getting later, almost at the end of our show, 6:25, which means I might be able to actually get pictures. If you like taking pictures of that sunset, go out there. Although it is clear outside, and we all know it's the clouds that really make the sunset shine. Looking tomorrow, we're going to see 60 degrees. That's right, in the 60s. Get outside. Take that opportunity because it is going to cool off a little bit over the weekend. It's going to be sunny, warm, mild, and nice. Beautiful. And it's going to continue that way all across the state. 72 in Sedona, 69 in Payson, a whole 84 degrees in Phoenix, with 60 being their low. That's right, Phoenix's low is our high. Go figure, but that's just the way life is. Perfect weather to go for a hike, especially in Sedona. 72, pretty nice. And looking at our 5-day forecast, we see 60 degrees for tomorrow, 60 degrees for the next day, 55 on Saturday, and then, 48 on Sunday. That is right, 30% chance of showers. We're going to see some rain, potentially some snow. Only 30% though, and it's only going to last a day. On Monday, we're going to see a slight breeze, but the high is going to go right back up to 54. And look at that, our lows. We see some above freezing lows finally in the forecast.
I'm ready for the warmth.
That is right.
I mean, you just got an umbrella, right?
I just bought an umbrella, so I mean, I am okay with the rain, so I can finally, it's a really nice umbrella. It has one of those like hook, I can use it as a cane, which is good because I have bad knees. But I'm okay with the warm temperatures too.
All right, Kate, so what's going on in sports?
Well, we got a lot. We got standings, seedings, bye weeks, all on the line for NAU women's and men's basketball. Coming up next, stay tuned.
Does your family need a break from the daily routine?
Hello, I'm Dr. Spruce. If you or someone you know needs a healthy dose of nature, visit discovertheforest.org and trade in the big screen for the big blue sky by visiting a local park or forest near you.
Hiking, picnicking, swimming, orienteering, climbing, admiring wildlife, or inhaling fresh air may result in heightened creativity, feelings of joy, harmony, satisfaction, and a euphoria that can only be explained as oneness with the natural world. Whoa.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple?
Chop the pineapple.
Nope. I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope. I'm high. Let's order in.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams.
Michael Adams.
Students who miss 18 days of school in any grade risk falling behind and not graduating. Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today.
So we were walking to school. I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really want
smart.
cheese pizza.
Sometimes her mind wanders.
We should have a sleepover.
I remember saying, Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
I really hope she doesn't
I
have
really
another
hope I
bad
don't
day
have
at
another
school
bad day at
today.
school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Welcome back to NAZ Today. I'm your sports reporter, Cade Gillis, and let's start off with a dominating weekend from NAU track and field. For the 11th time in school history, NAU men's and women's track and field swept the Big Sky Indoor Track and Field Championship. And you think I'm exaggerating when I say dominating? Well, listen to this. NAU men scored 141.5 points. The next best team, Idaho State, with 89.5. The men's team is certainly backing up their #1 national ranking, and the women's team is now atop the conference for the third time in the last 4 years. Now, 2015 was an interesting year. Drake memes ran rampant, sharks went rogue during the Super Bowl halftime show. Star Wars actually made a pretty good movie. But it was also the last time NAU women's basketball took down their upcoming opponent, Portland State. The importance of this game cannot be overstated. A top 5 seed and a bye week is on the line for the Lumberjacks. Tip-off against the Vikings is tonight at 6:30 as NAU looks to snap a 9-game losing skid to Portland State in their season finale. And NAU men's basketball is enjoying a resurgence this season as they currently sit on 16 wins with only 1 game remaining. For perspective, the previous 2 seasons saw just 15 total wins. And now, the men are in a similar position as the women's team, a bye week for the first round of the Big Sky tournament if they can get a win tomorrow against the Vikings. Sounds easy enough, right? Well, the Lumberjacks will just have to take down one of the top offenses in the country to do so. Scoring over 78 points per game, Portland State ranks 20th in the nation. Oh, and by the way, the Vikings are averaging 88 points over their current 4-game winning streak. The Lumberjacks got the edge over the Vikings earlier this season with an 84-82 win. Expect points in bunches tomorrow night. Now, if you're looking at how NAU has been so successful this year, why don't you look at the production of senior forward Brooks DeBishop, who leads the conference in field goal percentage and is one of the most versatile big men in the Big Sky. I got a chance to talk with coach and teammates about his impact on the team as DeBishop closes out his final games in a Lumberjack uniform. Brooks DeBishop has always had an impact on the court for the Lumberjacks.
Gets the ball over, backdoor cut to the back.
Unfortunately, wins came sparsely. Now in his final season, NAU is playing its best basketball since 2014.
Sure, I mean, we've had some struggles in the past, some not so great seasons, but it's a great feeling having a senior year where we're really successful and have a shot to win the Big Sky and, go out and compete for a championship.
When describing DeBishop's value to the program, there were 3 key words that stood out to interim head coach Shane Burkhart.
I would say the biggest thing is his competitiveness, and a very close second is his leadership. And another word that pops in my head when you talk about Brooks is his loyalty. From day one, he was committed. We had a great conversation in my office, and he's somebody who could have left in June, and he didn't want to. He stayed, thought about it, and he's loyal. He said, I'm all in, and boy, has he been all in as far as his leadership. He holds the players accountable.
He brings a great deal of leadership, and he helped some of the young guys, and he definitely was big in me coming in, and he definitely helped me a lot when I was a freshman.
The big man is going to leave even larger shoes to fill after this year.
He has not had one bad game all season. I don't think you replace him. You hope to get somebody as close as Brooks. I know the old adage is when you lose a senior, you want to get a better one, but it's going to be hard to get a better player than Brooks DeBishop.
Cade Gillis, NAZ Today. Yeah, definitely not an easy player to replace. They're going to be enjoying his final games that he has here. I mean, this guy can do it all, really.
Yeah, and he was here for all 4 years, so he's been a major impact. So I'm waiting to see how they're going to be after.
Yep. Hopefully we'll win against Portland.
That's right.
Alrighty, well, we'll take another look at weather when we come back. Stay with us.
Your son wants to get a cat, but you're allergic. Do you A, prepare yourself, B, make the best of it,
C squared equals 25. Good job!
or C, find a loophole? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Blackfoot, Navajo, Cree, Yakima, Aleut, Choctaw, Sioux, Pueblo, Inuit, Shoshone, Apache, Gila, Makushit, Chippewa, Mohawk, Seminole, Creek, Ho-Chunk, Crow, Ojibwe, Cherokee. All American Indians and Alaska Natives, we need an accurate count for the 2020 census. It's important because this data informs the funding of resources and programs in our communities. Your response will affect the next generation.
Testing. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy.
Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Well, it is going to be warm and dry, brief respite, or at least 30% chance of brief respite on Sunday. Potential snow and rain, but then right back to it.
That's spring weather,
That's
ideal.
right.
I hope it stays that warm towards Easter time.
Fingers crossed.
Yes. And also speaking of Easter, the weather will not be the only thing that sets the tone for it. Crocs is now introducing a new shoe that has peeps on it. I don't really care for peeps, but I like the shoe. The pastel colors are really pretty.
Yeah, the colors are really cute.
Maybe the pink ones.
Yeah, maybe the pink ones.
I used to get made fun of wearing Crocs, but they're making them cool now.
They are making them just a little cool, but
I don't know. I still think it's the worst thing I've ever seen.
You still might get made fun of it.
Maybe, yes.
All right, well, thanks for watching, and we will see you on Friday.
Wednesday?